Everybody has the appropriate items in their arsenal that they're, look at this, they're trying to coordinate the grenade toss and they do it. They have 4 grenades that are going over.
Oh my goodness! Are you kidding me?
At this point, really. But it looks as though the players, they have disembarked from the battle bus. We're taking a look at Airwalks, our champion from the Pro-Am back in July at the World Cup, and we see Leon there as well.
Being cohesion and work after that to rotate properly. Of course, Matt O'Gorman, a musician, member of British India, a band here locally in Australia. But some early fights going on. Cloud9 Blackout going to take out one.
He does get the elimination there, nets himself a little bit more health, is going to edit into the box. It does take a little bit more damage, gets his shield ripped off completely, but does get the elimination. Back up to 98 health, has the mini, is going to pop it, but he is taking some shots, so Tweaks is going to actually have to build for him a little bit, drops down.
You're spot on. And we saw Dave Hughes earlier, the third member of this team, just kind of roaming and frolicking in the forest. Not sure if he was able to regroup with his teammates, so that's leaving Rel and Laserbeam alone right now in a 2 versus 3, and in a pretty tough situation. Their backs against the wall, quite literally. Oh!
This X2 ends up going down. You can hear the crowd absolutely cheering. Laserbeam gets the laser off, dare I say, but then goes down himself. Now it's going to be tough for him to be able to get revived. Doesn't look like he's going to have the chance, but we have RPGs coming in on Rel as well. This got crazy very quickly.
Undoubtedly a third party and then a third party on top of a third party. It's Airwalks and Leandro, the tennis player from Switzerland. So the Swiss duo right now trying to third party and be the better third party. We have a 3-on-3-on-3 fight and engagement going on. Of course, Vinny in a world of hurt and tagged up.
Yeah, and unfortunately for him, it doesn't look like he's going to have much time to get himself back up to speed in terms of his health, because, you know, he's just going to have to keep building and utilizing his resources to, oh my gosh, Ken takes a ton of damage from those grenades. He does have the shields in his inventory, though, so he is going to be able to heal up a little bit. We can see Rel using the edits to try to peek, get a little bit of information in regards to where his opponents could possibly be at this point. We see him taking a few shots on the box that Vinny has built himself, but Vinny very quickly ascending up to try to get away from Rel, knows that he is by himself right now. His team is gone, so he's going to have to see what he can do to get out of this very sticky situation.
Yeah, you're spot on, Rel. Like you just mentioned, the last lives, he's just going to want to chill, hide, and hopefully let these 2 teams fight each other and make it a 3-on-3 fight, but Rel is not in a good position to do that, so no shields to his name in a really, really tough situation. Draken's doing what he can with a harpoon gun to eliminate any cover. RPG's coming in as well. He's fighting the cavalry right now as Rel, not in a good position.
Yeah, and you can see him just building for his life, is able to get up on another level here, so he is up 1 more, but he is going to have to try to play it smart. He is approaching Vinny's 1 by 1 as well, takes a ton of shots, is down to about 22 health. Things are not looking good for him. Vinny takes another shot, goes down to 73 health. He doesn't have anything in his inventory. 9 shotgun shells, but he somehow manages to pull it off. If he can get this final elim, he is going to get 50 health back. This is going to be instrumental in him being able to get out of this situation, but he has to do this quickly.
Yeah, that's a good call out, because that siphon is crucial right now with his health sitting at like 19. Is he able to get it? No. Blackouts actually gets the elim on Steve Nicholson, but Blackouts is still knocked right now. I don't know if Vinny's going to try and play aggressive and finish the elim or just try to survive. Rel, though, is somehow able to sneak away of that fight and leave unscathed relatively. Meanwhile, Vinny still with only 19 HP, and the revive did come through. Drakens is up.
As well. We don't really talk about that too much, but honestly, whatever you can do to conserve materials, to make sure that you're not taking any kind of damage so that you're set up better for endgame, is really what you're trying to be doing in these games right here, and they play it perfectly.
Yeah, that's a scary thing when you have Benji Fishy flying at you if you're Leandro. Leandro's gonna get taken out. The Swiss 18-year-old tennis player gets taken out in this one. Benji Fishy hunting for an elimination, and he gets it.
They're all alive, and unfortunately for Airwalks and Leon, they have lost their teammates. So we're going to have to see if these 2 guys decide to engage at all. And it does look like Looter and his teammates are
pulling
out. The flying fish is back! Benji's back! Oh my goodness, I told you guys. I called it the flying fish in all his glory. Taking some shots. Oh no, Benji, what are you doing?
Oh my land. This looks like Loot Lake from Chapter 1 right now with people all over the place, right? And it looks like Benji Fishy decides to get aggressive with Alethea. Great shot calling coming through, because guess what? They now have a little bit of a high ground here, but looks like Richie, the race car driver, who in my eyes has been one of our 3-4 celebrities who has performed very well, is doing a good job, kind of getting some edits in and trying to maintain at least some wall control.
Absolute incredible positioning from Benji Fishy and his team taking the high ground, and again having that stack there to utilize for mobility if they do need, splitting some mats here, splitting some grenades so that everybody has the appropriate items in their arsenal that they're, look at this, they're trying to coordinate the grenade toss and they do it. They have 4 grenades that are going over.
Oh my goodness, are you kidding me? Kobe with the shot there is Benji with a beautiful shot call. This is why he's one of the best in the world, ladies and gentlemen. They just double-limbed 2 members of Looter's team. What a performance and what coordination. By the way, they've only been playing together for a few hours.
What did I
You're in
just
astonishment
watch?
right now.
I'm fainting. I don't understand what I just saw. I saw them all cooking the grenades and ready to throw. I didn't know that they were all going to be able to pull off and execute that amazing play. I have never, ever seen a play coming out of something like that in competitive Fortnite in my life. That was absolutely insane, and you could hear the crowd went absolutely wild when they saw what Benji Fishy and his team were just able to execute there.
Amazing stuff from Benji Fishy, and of course, we keep saying it, that's nothing short of what you would expect from Benji with how great of an individual player he is. We all know how talented he is in solos, but showing some of his leadership right now, this young man is under 18 years old, I believe 16 years old from the UK, and leading his team to victory right now, doing a great job of it, and now they are the sole team left on top of those steamy stacks with an easy rotation. Just like that, they went from being low ground, taking high ground, and getting 2 eliminations and having the best position in the game.
Yeah, they saw that real estate on top of steamy stacks, and they said, you know what? We're gonna literally grenade our way to the top. This is our area. Now you see Som getting the elimination on Volks. Volks does end up going down. Som picks up the big shield, is going to heal up. We are over at Lachlan and his team right now as well. They are taking shots. Things are starting to heat up. We are in the 5th zone. Things are going to get wild very quickly.
You're spot on. Som, currently a free agent, by the way, former CLG, 2nd place at World Cup behind Booga. Great performer, has been doing it since Summer Skirmish way back in 2018-19 era. And he's showing up here today, picking up an elimination. But I want to point something out. Mr. Fresh Asian has picked up 4 or 5 eliminations in the top left of our screen here in the elimination feed. So he's having a great game 3 as well. Ruben Styles with an elimination on Rel. Are you kidding me? Ruben and Peking Duck showing up.
Unbelievable. That RPG was instrumental in that elimination for him. 15 teams alive, 35 players left. We are approaching the first threshold for placements. That being 12th place, that will get you 3 points. All of these teams knowing this is match 3, the last of 2 that we're gonna play for today, so they need to pick up the pace and they need to be paying attention to every single rotation they're making.
Yep, TSM Zexro trying to do a big for America, coming from New York, Long Island to be exact. Enshway picking up 1 as well. So it's coming down to the wire here in game 3. Benji Fishy picking up a limb, same with Zate. We see some big names at the top left of our screen. On board with Airwalks, the back-to-back Pro-Am champion, but none other than Mr. Fresh Asian has high ground right now and is in a great position.
Look at these teams just absolutely fighting for zone right now. You can see Airwalk taking a ton of damage on his build. Moose Up unfortunately goes down. Doesn't look like there's going to be any chance of revival. Is getting harpooned, and now he is.
That was a harpoon?
That was the harpoon gun.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, they are using it to get his loot over to their 1x1 so that they can effectively just beef themselves up for the final rotations here. You can see again Lachlan up at the top with Mr. Fresh Asian. Perfect positioning coming out of those guys, but they do have to be very careful. Now they are starting to tarp out. They're starting to tarp out over the water, which is actually a very good play because if you do end up being shot down, no fall damage.
Yeah, that's a great call out. As Benji Fishy still leading his team, Airwalk's in a good position as well. So I've been so impressed with Mr. Fresh Asian and how he's leading his team, playing so well as an individual, and all 3 of them are still alive. Gonna get tagged up right now though. Shots are gonna come in for Airwalks on Leon. Leon does go down, so all eyes on Airwalks as the last member alive here. He's going up against Trapped, a Ghost Gaming member here in Australia.
Yeah, and it looks as though he is trying to build reinforce, get Leon to come back a little bit so he may be able to get the revive off. The other players I don't think understand where he's been, but unfortunately for him, he is going to have to make it to the zone. It is ticking by 10 at this point, so he's not going to have the time to get up his teammate. He is going to be alone for the rest of this game, so we're going to have to see what he's able to do here. FaZe,
NRG, 100 Thieves, so many great organizations still alive here, and their players are representing well. TSM as well with Zexro on screen. Mr. Fresh Asian, though, of Renegades doing it well with 3 eliminations to his name right now, and high ground in a good position. Under some duress right now from an RPG coming at him. And he's gonna be able to almost get a tag on Magma.
Ooh, that edit though ends up getting Magma down, gets all of his loot, gets the health as well. He is going to have to prepare because there are still 11 teams and the 17 players alive. So we have hit the first threshold for placement points. We see one of the X2 twins, Jordan, unfortunately in this zone, his health is going to be going down very quickly, and he does end up falling there on the bottom of the screen. You can see Benji Fishy as well, trying to go through. He just floppered, so he might actually make it out. We're gonna have to see if he does or not. Epic Will at the very top, playing for his life. He is by himself, but you know what? Epic Will is such a consistent player. He goes for the trap, unfortunately doesn't get it off in time, and the other player is able to escape.
Richie Stanaway picking up elimination on Airwalk. So I mentioned how we've been by Richie. Mr. Fresh Asian gonna get tagged up for a headshot. Great shot from Epic Whale from NRG, a great performer at World Cup who's really shown up big here in 2019 and 2020 as a top player in Fortnite. Mr. Fresh Asian though, with Epic right above him. It's going to be an interesting fight, an interesting battle for high ground here. Let's see if Mr. Fresh Asian has some more tricks up his sleeve like he did in game 2.
Yeah, and you can see Epic Will did end up taking Lachlan out there. We have 12 players left in this lobby, but it seems like so many more when this zone is moving. The pressure is on, and you're going to have to use everything you have. Everything is coming down to this moment right here. 10 players left, 9 teams. That means 1 duo is left. The rest are solos. It is everybody fighting for their lives at this point.
Yeah, well, Buffer's going to take out one, but tough spot. Temp is going to go down here. Mr. Fresh Asian has the flopper. Same situation as last. We said 1,000 IQ last game. Let's see if he can do it again.
Yeah, and he is lagging a little bit behind Cease, but he is methodically building over. You can see using the floppers to mitigate a lot of that storm damage. Not panicking at all. Zate is going to rain down some shots with that SMG. Is going to take a moment to make sure he's at maximum shield, but does hold high ground right now over everyone else in this lobby.
Yeah, you called it. All solos left, I believe. It's a one-on-one. 5 players left alive. Benji Fishy trying to hold it down for the UK and EU, who hasn't shown up incredibly well yet. Cease trying to do it as well. Mr. Fresh Asian does get taken out here. Zate is holding it down with high ground, but it's not, maybe not for long. Cease just tunneling and staying alive here on low ground.
Yeah, and he is actually going to go back into the storm to see if he can get anything out.
Gosh.
Has 10 health left, but has a ton of mats. Oh my gosh, Cease actually gets taken out by Zate. Oh my gosh, we have 2 players remaining.
Benji, I think. No, Rory
against Zate. Zate has 8 health left, 6, and it's not going to be enough. Rory ends up again from the high ground with the RPG. Second game in a row, we have seen it end in that fashion. You can see the team there breathing a sigh of relief.
Take a look at where our standings now sit after match number 3 and which team is in the driving seat to take home $30,000 for their charity of choice. Team number 1, a big 10-point lead, Zate 000 and Watscope. Any surprises here for you, Pookie?
I mean, Zate is arguably one of the most consistent players that I've ever seen in the game, so no surprise there. Lachlan is actually heading up second place with Mr. Fresh Asian. Again, no surprise there as well. Mr. Fresh Asian being reigning champion from last year. So, you know, he's here, he's showing up what he can do. You know, with the interview earlier with Adrian, he said, you know, there's really no pressure on me to perform, but, you know, he's coming in with that kind of mentality and that kind of attitude, and he's still doing very well. Yeah, still doing super well. We saw Elevate was in 3rd place with his team at the start of last game. Manages to retain that here. For me, the big one, Benji Fishy coming through the ranks with Richie and Alithia on the back of a pretty good game right there. You can see 15 place points, 15 elim points, brings them to 30 after 3 matches. Not bad at all. And if you're looking for who's going to come out on top, you're probably looking at maybe anyone maybe with 30 points or more is probably where you're looking towards. Relying, of course, for Zay and his team to have an average game number 4. Yeah, certainly. Now, that is to say, though, I mean, you know, we have seen teams pull off these 22-point games, you know, getting the 7 eliminations, getting the victory royale, that's 22 points. So, I mean, you know, you say top 30, It's hard for me because it's like, you know, if they have 22 points, 23 points, and they have a 25, 26, 27-point game, it's not unheard of. They could take this. So with one more game remaining, we are going to have to see what happens, how these teams put everything into the last one. And you can see there, we've got everybody with points.
Everyone with a point. Everyone's a winner. Congratulations. Well done. Everyone with at least one elimination. That's what we love to see. They're slowly starting to make their way through. Hughesy, 2 elimination points for his team. I don't know. Probably Rel got that. Maybe Laser Beam. I'm not sure how Hughesy's going. Maybe his son's pulling out the goods. But look, we'll see. Game number 4, still one left.